Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Nick from Affinity, and we're with Confidence Man. Hey, how are you?
Good,
Yeah,
very
good.
good.
So you just finished your first American performance. How did that feel?
It felt awesome, yeah, just to like get it done, see if the crowd would sort of, get it, what's going on.
We were kind of interested to see how American crowds would be compared to like the European and Australian ones we've been doing. So they were really good. They were like very energetic.
Yeah,
they're copying all our dance moves like straight away.
Yeah.
They had no idea who we were. They were all just like,
Good. They do what they're told. Which is
Yeah.
always good.
There you go. So you're speaking about dance moves. How'd you come up with that? Because it's so creative and different.
It's just the two of us kind of do it really badly at home, and we're like, what a dance move? Like, Sugar's not, the most,
Not professional.
Yeah, he hasn't never done any dance
professional.
classes. I've maybe done like 3.
Yeah.
So we just kind of do dance moves that the both of us can do while singing.
And then the dance moves everyone else can do as well.
Yeah.
The
You gotta
fact
keep
we're
it
not
simple.
professional is like probably the best thing.
Yeah.
And so it's also some of it like improv, because like I know it's like you took your shirt off during your set and everything. And it's
Yeah, there's definitely like a lot of, we just have like the set moves and then just freestyle in between.
Yeah.
So like coming up with your music, you started off like sort of like indie rock, and then you became this like electro dance pop. How did that happen?
I don't know, I guess like, we were playing in a bunch of different bands that were all sort of more rocky or indie kind of sounding. And then, but everyone sort of really loved dance music always, and it just kind of like grew and grew, and then eventually we were like, let's make some dance songs, like dorky dance songs.
Yeah.
And I suppose like they're not proper dance music in a way, because none of us knew how to write dance music. So like, this is what we will write as dance musicians. So it's been a kind of big mess, but it's kind of like worked out really well.
Yeah, we got to like do it differently.
Yeah.
And so what would you say your like creative process for like writing music would be?
We're a bit different because we start with names. So like 4 of us will go away and come up with song name ideas. And then when we start writing something, we'll sit down and go through all the different song names. And so we'll try, like say with Try Your Luck, which is one of the songs of our album, we actually just had that as a song name, and we decided to write a song based around that lyrical idea. So we're a bit weird like that, because also the 4 of us are writing, so it's not like 1 or 2 people writing. It's a kind of weird, strange process.
Like we sit in a room with the 4 of us and just yell at each other.
Yeah, effectively. You can't be precious with the 4 of us. You have to be a little bit brutal and be able to take people being mean to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I noticed the other 2 members of your band, they wear veils on stage. Like, what was the idea behind that?
Well, originally that was to hide their identities, because they're both in other bands in Australia that like do quite well, and we didn't want the Confidence Man to be looked at like just like a side project or like not taken seriously. So we sort of just like, as a weird idea, just like, chuck some veils on them.
Well, they were beekeeper hats.
Yeah,
Beekeeper hats. Yeah.
But then, I don't know, it just sort of made this weird contrast of like these 2 weirdos and, with masks on out the back, and then Janet and Sugar sort of showing off as much as they can out the front. It just kind of worked visually, so it just kind of stayed.
Yeah, we ended up keeping it, even though no one knows the bands are in over here. They will keep it forever.
Yeah. And they're really ugly. Those guys.
You need to hide their faces, they're not
Best
the
that they're
hottest looking
covered.
dudes.
Yeah. So you have these like sort of personas on stage. Do you find these personas like impact the way you like write your music?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that like that's something we found with the first album was, like with Janet sing about something like that. And I suppose that's something that we'll look at with the second record is like, do we want to like extend these characters, or like do we want to change them? Because I don't know, like in a sense, you want to be able to write about more than just kind of what these characters have been. But in a way, it's been really good because it's kind of like shaped the live show as well. But yeah, I think like that's something we'll look at. Second record is kind of maybe like expanding the characters, or we could completely change it as well.
Anything could
But
happen.
something new. We could dance as horses on stage or something stupid.
Yeah, horses.
Yeah.
I'm keen for horses.
So what's coming up in the future for you?
Well, we're just in New York for like 3 or 4 more days. We've got another show elsewhere in a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then just sort of checking the place out, meeting a few people that we've just started working with over here.
Gonna go to some rooftop bars. I'm gonna drink like some like Manhattans and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're just gonna do New York stuff. Through Central Park.
Yeah.
I don't know, like.
And so we're here for like a few days, and then we're heading back to Europe, pretty much in Europe for the next kind of 4 months, on and off, like kind of 3-4 shows a week, kind of lots of festivals and stuff.
Yeah.
So that should be good.
And then back to Australia and just sort of yeah, keep sort of cycling around. I
Yeah,
guess.
I think we're looking at coming back here like before the end of the year. So
Yeah.
yeah, come back and play some more shows.
Yeah.
Sure.
And how did Gov's Ball compare to like the other festivals you played? Because I know you played a bunch of festivals in Australia and Europe. How did it compare?
It's cool. Like we've only really just sort of had a good little look then when we walked through,
Yeah, we
but
sort of
like
walked through. There's a
but-
Honda stage with cars. I was very
yeah,
impressed.
they
Like cars.
sell cars
Yeah.
at American festivals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, but I have to say, so far they have the best drinks. They have like the most delicious punch backstage. I can like not get enough of it. But it's really awesome. And like that stage is like the biggest stage I've ever seen in my whole life. Like we just played like Primavera, and I was like, this is huge. Like holy shit, I've never seen anything like it before. And then seeing that stage, I was like, oh my god. Like I was so tired, like trying to perform that stage. Like I felt like I had to like
Yeah,
run
running
from one
around
side
is
to
really-
the other. Like we walked off stage and the two of us were just
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So I suppose in a way, like it makes us more tired. Those stages.
Yeah, the
so-
bigger the more painful.
yeah.
But
Yeah, but it's really awesome, and the crowd was heaps of fun, and like I could tell no one knew who we were, and they like by the end of it they were getting really into it. So I'm pretty excited to come back and do some more
Keen
shows.
to do some more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to like up and coming artists like trying to find their sound or hoping to make it in this industry?
I'd say kind of don't be afraid to do something different, and being different is cool. And I think some people might not get it initially, but I think if you just kind of keep doing something that you know is awesome, eventually people will come around.
Yeah, and just sort of keep it enjoyable for yourself so that you don't sort of end up hating it and like get stuck sort of dancing around in hot pants for your whole life.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you. So nice meeting you. You can check out Confidence Man down in the description below. All links will be down in the description. See you soon. Bye.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you so much.